Hello, and welcome to the Living My Human Design podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Hoover, and I'm so excited that you're here. I have been on a self-healing journey since my early 20s, and when I discovered human design in January of 2021, I felt like I had finally found what I had spent the last 20 years searching for. I believe that if we live as our authentic selves, having forgiveness, compassion, love, and understanding in our hearts, that ripples out and positively impacts everyone we interact with. That is how we have the biggest positive impact on the world. My purpose is to be a beacon of light in the world, attracting those who have broken down, fallen apart, and are stuck under the weight of life, and help them rise up as their true authentic selves. By sharing my human design experiment through this podcast, I hope to encourage others to begin their own healing journey by experimenting with their own human design. Continue listening and join me on this life-changing experiment of self-discovery. Hello, and welcome back. It has been a minute since I have recorded an episode of the podcast. There's been a whole lot going on, a whole lot of change actually that's happened in the past few months. So, as in true manifesting generator style, 3-5 manifesting generator style, I'm still looking for my voice for this podcast and exactly what I want to talk about. So I keep trying things out and then switching things up. So here I go again, switching things up on you guys. Not too drastically though. What I've been super passionate about, I love human design, and I also love this full-time RV living lifestyle that my husband and I have right now. I love the freedom, and I love the adventure, and I love going out and exploring all of the various locations that we choose to stay at. And we started this adventure in a truck and a 37-foot fifth wheel that we lovingly called Bud and Doris. Loved our truck, loved our fifth wheel. We were on our way to Michigan for my niece's high school graduation, and we'd kind of been toying and talking about for the past probably 6 or 8 months about moving into something smaller, getting into something smaller, because while we love the mobile lifestyle, our truck and trailer was just too big to get into the national parks. It was too big to be spontaneous with. We would have to make plans, and then if we wanted to change them, it was more difficult to switch things up. And it's just something that we had kind of been talking about. And then when we were on our way to Michigan and we had a layover in Tennessee, and the bridges started getting lower, there started to be more traffic, there was more road construction, and just travel days were stressful. And so we came to the decision that, we're definitely going to downsize into a Class C motorhome, 25-foot Class C motorhome. So I started we had been doing some research, we knew what we wanted, we just weren't sure how we were going to make the transition because we live full-time in it. And I reached out to an RV dealership that had a couple of locations in Michigan. And they had 2 of the RVs that we loved, that we were looking at. And so I was just curious if they took trades for fifth wheels, if they would take our truck and our fifth wheel on trade. And so I reached out to them, and sure enough, they do take trucks and fifth wheels for trade. And we started talking things over, negotiating things out, and came to an agreement how much they would give us for our truck and trailer. We agreed on a price for the new fifth wheel, and then we made the transition in their parking lot over a 24-hour period. And it was a lot of work, but it was 100% aligned with our strategy and authority. We knew that we wanted to make this change. We had been going through our emotional wave with it for months. And then when we finally made the decision, everything just moved smoothly. Like literally within 6 days, we were making the transition into this new RV, which we absolutely love. And so we've been spending the last few months getting used to it. And it's made it a little bit more difficult to record the podcast because it's a smaller space. It's only 25 feet. And my husband's always there. So I always would feel like uncomfortable starting the podcast. And I also wanted it to be quiet. I wanted it to be perfect. And you know what? In human design, and what I've been talking about, what I hear my mentor talking about is taking imperfect action. And I was sitting here and I felt inspired to record an episode. And you know what? I decided I'm just going to record it sitting right here in the campground. We're at the Catchis campground or Catchis campground in Washington State, which is just in the real close to Snoqualmie Pass. We're absolutely loving it here. It's gorgeous. And because we're in this 25-foot motorhome, we can now get into national campgrounds. We can camp, we can get into nature more, we can be spontaneous. And we're really super excited about it. But I hadn't recorded an episode of the podcast because we were in a smaller space and I was wanting everything to be quiet and to be perfect, or not necessarily perfect, but I guess, yeah, perfect in a way. And today I just decided to take imperfect action and record it outside, looking at the beautiful pine trees, watching my dog chew on sticks and dig sticks out of the fence. And yeah, so here we are. And I'm kind of probably going to be moving in a different direction with the podcast to a degree. I am going to be sharing my experience of living full-time on the road in an RV following my human design. So both my husband and I are manifesting generators. We both have emotional authority. And so we're going to play around with following our strategy and authority, leading us to the various places that we're going to be camping out, and just kind of integrating our human design into our lifestyle, which really we all should be doing anyways. We should all be living according to our human design. But I'm just going to be sharing how our human design is directing us on our adventures, because we found some really cool places just by following our human design, by living in that response, acting in response, like finding the Palm Springs tram that took us up into the mountains after being in the desert for 6 months. And I was just craving trees and pine trees. I just really was craving pine trees. And then someone told us about this tram that takes you up into the mountains. And we went, we did that. We had an absolutely amazing evening, wonderful dinner. It was a great time. And then we also found the Antelope Canyon hike that we went on in response to something that my sister had said to us. So a lot of our adventures are really fun adventures we've had following our human design of living in response. So I'm just going to kind of share what that looks like. And then I'm also going to just be sharing like what I'm experimenting with in the moment, just kind of, yeah, what I'm experimenting with. See, and I just got in my head too much and I'm not trusting my voice. And then when I get into my head, I just stop. I just don't even know what to say anymore. I'll be sharing my experiences as I live this full-time RV lifestyle following my human design. I'll be sharing what I am passionate about, what I'm learning, what inspires me, and just my life as I follow living my human design. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you for listening all the way to the end of the podcast. If you like what you've heard here today, please take a moment to leave a review. Don't forget to subscribe so that you're notified when the next episode is released. If you have any questions, please connect with me on social media The links are down below in the show notes. Don't forget you can get your free human design chart at my website, livingmyhumandesign.com. And if you'd like to have me unpack your chart with you, you can also schedule an unpack at my website, and there are 3 options to choose from. That website address again is livingmyhumandesign.com. If you'd like to learn more about human design at your own pace, I highly recommend joining Emma Dunwoody's HDX membership. There are video modules on all parts of human design and tons of bonus materials. This membership also comes with a private Facebook community where you can ask questions and get additional support. I'm one of the guides in this community as well. The links to all of this information are down below in the show notes. Thank you again for listening. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll talk with you soon. Thank you for listening all the way to the end of the podcast. If you like what you've heard here today, please take a moment to leave a review. Don't forget to subscribe so that you're notified when the next episode is released. If you have any questions, please connect with me on social media. The links are down below in the show notes. Don't forget you can get your free human design chart at my website, livingmyhumandesign.com. And if you'd like to have me unpack your chart with you, you can also schedule an unpack at my website, and there are 3 options to choose from. That website address again is livingmyhumandesign.com. If you'd like to learn more about human design at your own pace, I highly recommend joining Emma Dunwoody's HDX membership. There are video modules on all parts of human design and tons of bonus materials. This membership also comes with a private Facebook community where you can ask questions and get additional support. I'm one of the guides in this community as well. The links to all of this information are down below in the show notes. Thank you again for listening. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll talk with you soon.